120.
129.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you start the small recorder, Travis, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Rudy Castellano.
Present.
Mike Sweeney said he wasn't going to be able to make it. He's excused. Mike Cousins.
Present.
Travis Martinez.
Present.
Michael Martinez.
Present.
David Marquez.
Present.
There is a quorum.
Mr. Chairman, on the approval of the agenda, are there only two items that we're considering today? That I know of, there won't be anything else. I make a motion that we approve of the two items as presented. I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Rudy, a second by Mike Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Amendments.
Mr. Martinez, I wasn't present at the last meeting, but I think we're in the second motion to make it. The read the minutes. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike Martinez, a second by Rudy Castellano. All in favor? Opposed? That needs to get out of the hearings.
We do. Take time to learn. Exactly, they could get this and all of them. We're working for it.
Depends on how many voting we have on your. I should have waited it out. I mean, why that? I mean, now it's gonna become like a big issue. Yeah, I mean, we gonna be big emoji, you know. Any public input?
I have not received public input for this meeting.
Thank you. Business items. Recommendation item, recommendation for approval of addendum number 3 to contract number 398423 with Sutter Miller and Associates for design services on sewer repairs and replacement projects.
Mr. Chairman, on the notes and stuff that were presented to us, it said that it's talking about wastewater only. Is that true or not true? What are we explaining?
It's only wastewater.
It's only wastewater. Yes, because it's a sewer, right?
It's collections.
So do we need to clarify that, the statement that we're putting?
That's the way it was on the RFP when it was proposed.
Yeah.
How it's kind of.
So it's understood that it's wastewater. Thank you.
Thank you.
If that's the case, with the chairman, I make a motion that we approve. For Southern Builder. It's contact number 3984-33. Next, the extended agreement will be for a year. And there's a one, it's for the repairs and replacement projects. I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Rudy Castellano, and a second by Mike Martinez. All in favor? Opposed? Number 2, recommendation for approval of addendum number 1 to contract number 423825 with Stag Lisa LLC for professional legal services for PFAS litigation counsel. What does that stand for?
That's what I was going to ask, Mr. Chairman.
So PFAS is the new stuff that they found in the water. Well, that one because I got yeah.
That they found in the water?
It's something that's leaking. And that's why I don't ever want to say it because it's per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. So basically, there are a synthetic group of thousands of man-made chemicals globally since the 1940s, and
It's products that resist heat, water, grease, and stains, and they do not break down in nature, and they're what we know as a forever chemical. So EPA has every water there, everybody testing for PFAS. So right now we're testing for PFAS right now, and it's a whole thing against EPA and everything like that. And these are our companies basically right now that are doing services for us if PFAS are found in our water.
How do we get into, maybe what the city?
Excuse me?
How can we sue the city?
How can you
Just kidding.
vote against this one?
Yeah.
Vote against it? No, just vote against it. Because they're the ones that are going to be representing the city.
Surprised that they were use whatever we could.
This is, like I said, this has been going on since the forties. This went nationwide with EPA. So everybody in the United States and nationwide has to do all these testings and everything. And it's probably gonna be a test in the future that's gonna become one of the new requirements, that we're gonna have to start removing. I don't know how that's gonna do it. It's barely getting started. It's starting to track and everything, and right now, these ones right here, PFAS, acidification, they're helping us, and the city or anything like that does not, we can put us a claim against EPA. Or knowing about it since the 1940s, or how they're really cool about doing that stuff. There's more to this than anything.
But there is right now no way to get rid of the forever chemical.
This.
But I'm saying the people that are consumers are just as much to blame as anybody else from there.
But what's going on, and from what I understand, is the reason that this has come up, the forever chemical, is because we're starting to find babies now are born with this chemical. They're bloodstream already. So basically, we've been consuming this for years and years and years, that it's starting to become hereditary to our offspring. They don't know what it's doing to our bodies now. I mean, it's the whole deal, but it's coming up, so.
And it could be that the babies and well, the future generations will develop a resistance to it. I mean, usually that happens, but that's no guarantee.
And like I said, I probably even see that in my lifetime, but like I said, it's just the new stuff that's coming up and everything, so.
So, Mr. Chairman and Chuck, how in the world are these people didn't? So they're on standby for in case.
No, these are attorneys, so right now,
We're representing us.
yes, so what we're doing now is we're doing all the testing and everything, and if we have a case, they're gonna represent us.
Because
Yes.
Okay. Because it's a lot of kids. So they're working in place. So it's a litigation team that's going to help you explore the possibility of doing whatever you need to do to get rid of the stuff if they find it. Something like that, right?
So basically, right now,
What I'm trying to distinguish between the both. Are they going to be representing the people of Las Vegas against the EPA if something is found in the waters? Or are they going to be representing the city of Las Vegas? Who are they representing?
they're representing the city of Las Vegas.
City of Las Vegas.
So if there is water or anything like that, and we want to, sue EPA or whatever,
Yeah.
they'll be the ones to represent us.
So any individual consumer would have to get their own.
They have to get their own lawyers.
Okay, so they don't work for the general population.
No, they work for the city of Las Vegas.
Thank you, that's what I was saying. That's
And now, if, let's just say me personally, I wanted to go after the city of Las Vegas for PFAS. Well, basically, hey man, we have lithium, you know what I mean? We're gonna be fighting them. You're gonna be pretty much fighting the government on that one.
Yeah.
It's just a getting copper. You're getting copper. Anything pre-1987, if the government said, well, you can't give them water because they have old plumbing in their house. Well, you're not gonna fight the city on that one, you're gonna fight the government. It's
water can't be shut off after.
And like I said, That's just stuff that's coming up that us and water purveyors are stuck in the middle of everything. It's a lot there.
The only thing they can do is on that. Since
So,
no for lots of notification.
and I can watch, just to bring it out, to make it clear. Where is the Star Miller? Here we go. The water department will utilize the services and representation of State Louisa while PFAS litigation is ongoing. That's what we're using it for.
Right, the water department and shut the water off.
No, I'm talking about PFAS here. That's what this contract is. So,
So all the lawsuits and being over, should never be over.
like I said, we're just going as the regulations come out. So that's all we're following. Exactly. And the strengths of this contract is understanding complex PFAS science, knowledge of evolving legal landscapes of PFAS law and challenging rapidly, experience with large large-scale environmental litigations, and counsel familiar with PFAS litigations that may be better positioned to volume damages. The weakness of the contract is litigation can last for a long time. It's an administrative burden and potential business disruption. Our regulation,
The administrative burden would be to them or to you, to the city.
they be to us. And that's that, you know, they're requiring us to get this test, we get that test, everything that they're requiring. This is just a law firm, it's not the scientists. All of it. So that's the weakness of this contract.
And right now, they're just on standby. for
No,
the
no, we're working for us.
Oh, okay.
They're already putting things together for us.
Just because you're on top of it, you need this.
It's a burden, don't get me wrong, but you know, in the long run, it'll pay off.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve addendum contract 4238-25. It's static as we saw LLC for professional services. Service for PFAS investigation function.
Second motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike Martinez and second by Rudy Castellano, all in favor. Opposed?
I think that's what us. So
Statute is,
do you read that? I think so.
that's how the guy pronounced it last time I talked to him, so I always just Visa. Statute Visa.
Okay, so anyway. Monthly reports. Travis will do this for.
Oh, no problem. So. Okay, we've actually, this last month was pretty intense. Basically, you know, we're continuing on relying on our water and our wastewater services while advancing our critical infrastructure projects throughout the city during the month. We continue working on our major, capital improvement projects, you know, that's including the new water treatment plant, the temporary gradually activated carbon gas facility, the wastewater treatment upgrades and distribution improvements. You know, water supply management remains significant focus for us due to continued conditions, reduced snowpack and below average precipitation and the declining of the river flows. Operational strategies have been implemented to maximize the available water resources while maintaining compliance with the state and federal drinking water and wastewater regulations, you know, the Gallinas River and the watershed conditions. The Gallinas River continues to experience reduced flows due to ongoing drought conditions to the watershed. This year's snowpack was significantly below historical averages. And the region has received limited moisture through the winter and spring seasons. As a result, natural runoff has been reduced, causing lower winter flows entering the city's water system. To address these challenges and maintain adequate water reserves, us as the utilities department, we continue to actively manage available water resources and storage facilities. So our reservoir management, currently right now, we transport water supply remains stable through a strategic operational management and supplemental water sources. So currently right now, Brandon Reservoir is 262 acre feet, maximum is 300. Peterson Reservoir is at 143, maximum is 200. And Story Lake, as of yesterday, was 800 acre feet. To preserve available water, to preserve available river water and ensure long-term water supply reliability, we're continuing to utilize the water from Story Lake to supplement reservoir levels to support the system demand. So basically, we started pulling from Story Lake and we started filling up the reservoirs because the river cannot maintain the levels of the reservoirs because the flow is so low. Right now, the Valencia tank, Taylor well number 2 and number 4 are supplying the Valencia water tank directly. So basically what we're doing is we're blending the water from the Taylor wells, we're treating it over there like groundwater and we're blending it in with Valencia with the finished water. So we're utilizing 200,000 gallons pretty much like every 2 weeks. So that way we can offset the pressure off of the Luna tank. This operational strategy reduces the demand of finished water production at the water treatment plant and helps maintain storage levels throughout the distribution system while maximizing available groundwater resources. The continued use of Taylor well water provides optimal flexibility and assists with managing peak summer and water demands. Our capital improvement projects, the new water treatment plant, the new water treatment plant project remains one of the city's highest infrastructure priorities. During the reporting period, staff participated in multiple design review meetings associated with the project. Ongoing coordination occurring with Burns and McDonald, Plexus, CC2, and project stakeholders. Requests for information RFIs related to the facility design, site conditions, operational requirements, and infrastructure integration were reviewed and addressed. Staff completed review and comment submittals for design development documentations. Engineering teams continue to progressing the design while incorporating operational recommendations from city staff. The temporary gap building project, the temporary granulated activated carbon facilities continues advancing throughout the design phase. And to reiterate what the gap is, granulated activated carbon, it's basically extra step in polishing the water that removes TOCs, odors, smells, and other stuff. So that way it makes the water it does, but it mostly removes a lot of the TOCs, the organics, stuff that we're having issues with. Key activities included participation in the 50% design review meeting, coordination with engineers and project consultants regarding building layout, treatment processes, integration, utility connection, and operational requirements, review and responses to RFIs associated with the GAC facility design, continued collaboration to ensure facility meets treatment objectives and future regulatory requirements. The project remains in engineering phase pending final design approvals for engineering certifications. Water treatment division, water treatment plant remained fully operational through the reporting period. Major accomplishments included the completion of the SCADA system implementation and project closeout activities. Monthly compliance samplings and reporting were completed on schedule. Quarterly trihalomethanes and halo acidic acid compliance sampling were completed. Monthly bacteriological monitoring was completed. Monthly Office of State Engineering reporting was completed. Ongoing preparation for land and copper rule sampling requirements. Continued filter operations, maintenance, and optimization activities. Completion of approximately 30 filter backwashes and 62 track back operations. Daily operational monitoring and process adjustments. Regulatory compliance. The water treatment plant. And here's your part of it. The water treatment plant remains in compliance with applicable New Mexico Environment Department Drinking Water Bureau requirements. Meaning our water is safe to drink. The city drinking water continues to meet state and federal drinking water standards and remains safe for public consumption. Water distribution, the division, operations and maintenance, water distribution Personnel completed 285 work orders during the reporting period. Major activities were water service, renewals and replacements, hot tap installation, water line replacement, planning and construction activities, utility locates for development projects, fire hydrant maintenance, distribution inspections, inventory management for the fiscal year, closeout preparations, and assistance of water treatment and wastewater divisions as operational needs required. Infrastructure improvements, current infrastructure projects include Mora Street and Top Street water line replacement, planning for the San Miguel Alley water line replacement project. We're preparing for the meter and system improvement initiatives and water service upgrades and replacement throughout the system. Wastewater division, the wastewater treatment plant continued to meet operational requirements and regulatory obligations. Key accomplishments include completion of all laboratory testing and reporting requirements, weekly digester dewatering operations, ongoing sludge management activities, UV disinfection, maintenance, reuse water system maintenance and flushing, installation of new blower and variable frequency drives, submission of required corrective action reports to NMED, wastewater improvement projects, current projects that include the disc filter rehabilitation project. And we're also looking at the pan press, screw press planning and evaluations, entry works rehabilitation, septic, hauling improvements, and sludge management upgrades. Our staffing and our training, the utilities department remains committed to the employee development and certification advancement. Recent accomplishments include continuing education training for certified operators, CDL training and testing efforts, backflow certification trainings, water and wastewater certification preparation, and safety meeting and operational training were conducted throughout the month. Staff continues to demonstrate professionalism and commit while maintaining increased workloads and infrastructure demands. The challenges, the department continues to face several challenges. Ongoing job conditions and reduced river flows, aging infrastructure requires rehabilitation and replacement, equipment replacement throughout multiple facilities, staffing shortages in several operational divisions, increasing operational and maintenance demands, regulatory requirements associated with evolving drinking water standards. Looking ahead, the utilities department will continue focusing on advancing the new water treatment plant, completing the GAC facility design reviews, managing available water supplies to run strategic reservoir operations, expanding the use of supplemental water resources, maintaining compliance with all environmental regulations, pursuing funding opportunities for critical infrastructure improvements, supporting employee certification and workforce development. And our conclusion is, despite the ongoing drought conditions and aging infrastructure challenges, the utilities department continues to maintain reliable utility services while advancing critical capital improvement projects. So, through proactive water resource management, infrastructure planning, and operational excellence, the city remains well positioned to meet current demands for future growth while protecting public health and environmental compliance.
Okay, looking ahead, and Nino predicts more than usual moisture. And as we all know, in Las Vegas, it rained all at one time. Is there any precautions that have been taken because you're gonna have, if you have all that runoff that's coming down the creek, do we have a way to divert that? So it cause the same issues as well.
So there's only so much water that we could take when it goes so fast because the water gets too turbid.
Right.
And when the water is too turbid, we won't take it because we don't want to contaminate the reservoirs.
So it has an outflow, it goes around.
No, so basically there's a diversion.
That's what I meant.
The river comes down and then there's a part where we take off the river. So when we don't want to take off the river, we just shut them out.
The diversion goes to where?
The reservoirs.
Reservoirs?
That's the only place that the diversion goes.
Right. But those reservoirs are not used.
We're using the back end of the feeder stuff.
No, but I'm talking about the water that you're not using.
That goes over to the dam and down the river.
Oh, you're talking about I'm sorry, you're talking about the reservoirs? Well, we just cleaned out the levee systems and everything.
No, but I'm talking about the, let's say that you were to have an onslaught of water coming down the river.
Okay, we're talking about the river.
Yeah, but because of a flood.
Okay.
Do you have a way to divert that water so that it doesn't contaminate the reservoirs?
Okay, so the river is nowhere close to the reservoirs.
Okay.
So the reservoirs are here at the water plant
Right,
and the river's all the way over here.
so you
So the
get,
river's right here and the reservoirs are there. The diversion right here,
yeah,
there's a water line that would take the water off and it goes
into the reservoir,
into the reservoirs.
or it can continue going down the river like
Yeah.
this.
That's what we take. So there's a water line off of the diversion that would goes all the way to the reservoirs and that's what we fill the reservoirs up.
Oh, but the excess that you don't use.
It goes down the river.
Goes down the river.
And that's a very good question. Well, you know, just saying, we don't want the contamination to happen,
Yeah, but I was just trying to clarify.
that it goes down the
He's
river. Right?
talking about if you have clean water coming down the river, or at least it's slow enough that it's not a flood or whatever.
Yeah.
They open the gate and they let the water in the pipe and it goes to the reservoir. Anything that is flooded or massive amounts of silt and stuff like that, they turn off. They make sure that that valve is closed to the reservoir and everything goes down the river past it.
So we have that contingency already, right?
Well, that's what you just said. You only have storing from reservoirs. And if the water does go through, basically stored it becomes a sediment.
So starting will be the catchment area then.
So, okay, so then that's another part. Down the river, there's another diversion. And that diversion goes to either the Sequias, it goes to Story Lake, or it still continues down the river. Now you gotta remember, everything is based off the state engineer's office. So right now, the reason that we can't keep up with it is not just because of the flow of the river. Bob Michael knows this, is that we are on a 3 days on, 3 day off period of the river. So 3 days that we're on, that's ours to take. Then the sectors have their time allotted for them to take the water. And then Story Lake has their time allotted to take the water. So everybody shares the water. Yeah, so right now, with the 3 days that we have out of the whole week, we're, 3 days on, 3 days off, we're not keeping up with keeping the reservoirs full. So during this time, we're supplementing the water with Story Lake to keep that full. Once we get the reservoirs full, then we're gonna try and maintain the 3 days on, 3 days off by keeping those reservoirs full with the water that we're getting. Just at this time, we were not able to keep up with the demand. So we had to supplement what we lost that we can't make up with Story Lake water. And at the Valencia tank, we're supplementing that tank every 200,000 gallons with groundwater, and we're blending it with the finished water in that tank. So that way, all the finished water that's doing the biggest thing here at Luna doesn't take that water and put it over here. So that way, we're keeping everything balanced as far as the consumption of the town, with using as less water of our storage that we can, while everything is based off of the flow of the river. Now, there's no snowpack. We haven't had any. The river is, I think they got 3 CFS. State Engineer's Office only allows us to take 1 CFS because 1 CFS has to always maintain going down the river regardless. So if La Seca is taking and we call and we ask them, they might allow us to do it. They've done it in the past. If there's 3 CFS coming down, they'll let us take maybe 1.5, as long as 1 CFS is going down to maintain the river. And people don't understand that this is all based off the state engineers. Right? It's not the city. And when they say, well, we have this, this, and this, well, they better read the Waters of America Act.
So the conservation part now that we're experiencing is stage 1.
So as of right now, it's stage 1, and the way that we're going right now, there was a recommendation to the city manager, but he's the one with the final say so.
Or stage 2.
There's a recommendation made.
And that'll go through.
I don't know. Like I said, the recommendation's been made, but regulation been made from the utilities director as it states in the ordinance, and the city manager is the one with the final say.
What is state 1 read?
Stage 1, 2, and 3 are basically the same. Or stage 1 and 2 are basically the same, that everybody has odd numbers on even days, and even days are not, or about watering, and at what time, and the other part is the restaurants. Not to serve water unless requested by the customer. Stage 3 just gets rid of watering. And then stage 4 is nothing. No water. Yeah. We haven't gotten to that point yet, which I will tell you, that recommendation hasn't even been.
Right.
And like I said, recommendations been made, and I don't want to say anything now because I don't know what the final outcome is going to be with that decision. So until I get that decision, then we're still going to be stuck on stuff.
And how was that? I guess, but it was, put in the optic or something, the regulation for one, for stage one,
Well, what do you think, what the public says, you know,
to follow where you're, when you can water, or the day you can water, whatever, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Can I have like, Shawnee,
Yeah, a copy?
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get you guys copies. I think there's even one on the website too that's already on there, but yeah, we'll get you guys your copies.
yeah, cause I just, I know, or I knew that it was on stage one, but I don't really know what it entails.
Actually, as a matter of fact, to let you guys know about that now, I was requested to redo or to look at the ordinance for the stages, to redo them, and then of course, it's gonna come before the committee and then go to council for approval. So that is something that's in the works. Because we were looking at them and it's kind of weird because stage 1, 2, and 3 are almost identical. And then you get to stage 4 and it's radical. It's not, it's like,
it's not bad.
yeah, it's like, you know, like, so, actually, as a matter of fact, here, utilities were working on that. When I get that approved by executive office, then we, of course, we're gonna bring it here. We're gonna go through the whole process because it's gonna have to change the ordinance anyways. So you guys know that whole thing, but it is coming. Right now, probably through the summer, I'm probably gonna say that the regulations are gonna stay the same. Well, that they are now, the restrictions, but as this process goes, there, but we are looking to change it. And the water's good to go and we're good to do everything and hopefully we'll get your hot tub up and running here pretty soon.
Yeah, make it a smash burger.
You didn't want to bury it underground. Right, natural gas division goals, provide a safe and reliable natural gas service for our community and customers. Maintain compliance for the Mexico PRC and more regulations. Continue implementation of the AMR Tiger system. Improve employee development through training and cross-training opportunities. Promote teamwork, communication, and safe work practices throughout the department. Operational updates. During May, the natural gas division remained focused on providing safe and reliable service while preparing for the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission audit. Gas crews continue routine maintenance activities throughout the system, including peak serving, robotic protection, inspection on steel distribution lines, monthly order testing, vehicle inspections, and general system maintenance. Work also continued on the new inventory shop located on 95 12th Street. The department maintains weekly safety meetings and continued cross-training efforts to improve employee knowledge and development and strengthen operational readiness. These meetings help reinforce safe work practices, improve communication, and provide employees with an opportunity to discuss ongoing projects and operational concerns. A significant portion of the month was spent preparing for the next PRC audit and ensuring all requirements and required records, plans, and qualifications are current and readily available for review. Working closely with the department, compliance officer as Chief Ortiz reviewed records, procedures, and qualifications, documentations to ensure compliance with state and federal pipeline safety requirements. Compliance officer as Chief Ortiz reviewed the operation and maintenance on an annual operation qualifications or Q records, employee qualifications, and supporting documentation to ensure all records were accurate, current, and readily available for audit review. The department also reviewed and updated the OQ plan to ensure compliance with current regulatory requirements. In preparation for future operational needs, Mr. Ortiz reviewed state purchasing contracts, obtained vendor quotes, and prepared requisitions for flame-resistant FR and safety equipment for gas personnel. The department also met with several vendors to evaluate system monitoring technology capabilities of providing real-time pressure readings and alarm notifications for abnormal operating conditions throughout the natural gas system. Accomplishments: the natural gas division completed the New Mexico PRC operator qualification audit, reflecting its commitment to safety and compliance. Crews conducted the annual leak survey, repaired leaks, been repairing ongoing leaks, installed anodes at 1408 7th Street, and investigators suspected leak at the state hospital laundry room. Additional efforts included obtaining cathodic protection readings, repairing the horn steel line, renewing the service line at 611 Mora Street, and organizing inventory operations. This work helps ensure the city continues to provide a safe, reliable natural gas service to our customers. Looking ahead, the continuation of the leak survey and maintenance activities throughout the distribution and transmission systems, complete procurement and distribution for airport safety equipment, continue evaluating remote pressure monitoring and alarm notification systems, maintain employee training and operator qualifications, continue progress on the inventory shop project, maintain compliance with New Mexico PRC and PHMSA requirements. Solid waste division goals: provide reliable, efficient solid waste services to the community, maintain safe and operation and equipment throughout the division, improve customer service and response times, continue improvements to the transfer station and landfill facilities, maintaining clean and safe grounds for employees and customer service. Operational updates: during May, the solid waste division continued to focus on daily operations, equipment maintenance, customer service, and facility improvements. One of the department's major projects was a drainage improvement project at the scale. Construction began during the month and is expected to improve drainage conditions, site accessibility, and overall customer service at the facility. Staff members rode along with drivers on collection route when possible. This helped them understand daily operations, find areas for improvements, support field personnel. The crews also spent time repairing and maintaining equipment to keep vehicles running and reduce service interruptions. The department maintained the ground facility to ensure a clean, safe environment for employees and the public. They repaired a 30-yard container for use at Store 8 by replacing missing doors. Staff also made welding repairs on the front end loader truck to keep it in service. Customer service remained a priority throughout the month. Staff responded to customer service concerns involving missed collection, damaged containers, and service-related issues. The division also assisted with bin placement and logistical support for the Riverwalk cleanup event. The department continued efforts to audit commercial containers to ensure customers are billed appropriately for the level of service providing it. Additional work also completed transfer station improvements, including interior upgrades and planning for future expansion projects. Work orders completed. We provided 36 bins, removed 30, repairs 16, verifications 43, extra pickup 6, roll-off rentals 3, dumpster rentals 4. Accomplishments: began construction of the scale drainage improvement project, maintained clean grounds and facilities throughout the month, repaired a 30-yard container for Store 8, repairs to fleet equipment, including welding and pressure unloader. Continued commercial containment audit and support community development with the Riverwalk cleanup. Continued transportation improvement and expansion planning efforts. Looking ahead, complete the scale drainage for the storm drain improvement project. Continue equipment maintenance and fleet repairs. Continue commercial container audits, transportation improvements, and expansion projects, improve facility lighting and interior upgrades at the existing transfer station, continue providing responsive customer service and efficient collection operations.
Hey, that thing that happened around, this couple of one of those areas that the people that go to the first responders are all in the hospital. It was treatable dead. I was worried about the waste disposal people that are driving those trucks. Sometimes they run across things that people throw away that are toxic. Do they have anything that they can put on their mouth, like a mask, an oxygen thing to keep them alive, or something like that should start? Fumes
And right now, you're talking about at the transfer station itself.
And also in other jobs.
Yes, so right now what we do have is, it's an existing, we're collaborating with the SOPs, the standard operating procedures. Of course, we are doing the public outreach, public awareness as far as educating our community on throwing any type of toxics. We have been getting a lot of positive feedback in reference toward that. We did have a little mishap, in fact, last month, where we did get contacted on somebody who potentially got rid of some asbestos. We immediately contacted the Mexico Environmental Department, went through the process and guidance through the Mexico Environmental Department on how to properly dispose of that. They actually contacted a team to come down. They were able to assist on the issues.
Yeah, 'cause I worry about the workers today, and simply do all the stuff that people don't.
No, you're absolutely right. And you know what? That is something that we are currently looking into as well. Also, is I know it's a lot of baby steps. When we did, we say we're scratching at the surface and we're moving mountains. Let's keep in mind that a lot of standard safety procedures weren't always being followed or weren't always being addressed during the time of even me taking over. I know a lot of even the PPE wasn't being worn. So right now, in reference towards we are actually meeting with customers as to what's being brought in, what it is that we expose, and we're actually filling out the proper documents that need to be
But
required.
you also got to remember that if you're talking about them having gas masks or anything in the type of issue like that, you have to be certified. There's certain types of criteria, there's certain equipment that you have to buy. And right now, it's not part of regulation, which that's right now, like they said, they come into the future. But any type of piece of equipment you use, like stuff like that, you have to be certified.
Yes. And yes, and along, keep in mind with the certification, of course, comes all the training involved necessary prior to actually gaining the certification. So there's a process, but we are looking into, except right now, what we are doing within our capabilities of what we're able to do.
And I think I like the idea that they blame we tried to do. It's good.
So even right now with the retarded uniforms right now, we actually are implementing and utilizing those.
Yeah.
So everybody who is OT qualified and is on service right now, running service or on call, they actually have their duffel bag, they have their FR bibs, they have their FR jacket, FR gloves, and FR mask. We're just trying to get more of an inventory for even the new guys who are right now getting ready to get their own qualifications. So this other way, everybody's accounted for.
And, I always look at another prevention as well, other care. We don't need lawsuits, it's a question.
Well, and Travis, for attached to this as well, also, I think, and I can't say I think, I know, safety was always kind of, back burner type of things. And me personally, safety should always be a priority. With any type of aspect, any type of scenario, any type of situation that you're doing in the day-to-day tasks, safety should always be priority. So when you start classifying any type of potential hazards or any type of potential situation or hazardous environment situation that can take place, well, what can we do to prevent those? And part of it is your FR gear. Your FR gear is going to help you versus if you're wearing a polyester shirt and something happens to your night, well, that polyester shirt is going to turn melted plastic onto your skin, which in returns going to actually be effective going more if they weren't 100% cotton shirt. So we're looking into all those avenues. One of the other things we're actually looking into, trying to work hand in hand with the fire department, is FR gear. I mean, not FR gear, the breathing apparatus. So we actually have gotten in contact with, it's called Goldies. They are on state contract. They come down, they're special SPCA units. That is a smaller unit. We don't need a big tank for a great fire hazard. So literally side hit unit, but it is a mask. So at those point in time, so how many masks are we going to be getting? How many masks are we going to be able to afford at that point in time? Well, more importantly, trying to get everybody certified and trained and being able to use those units. So in case when they do go into a house to look for carbon monoxide, they're looking for gas leak, or there's a natural gas.
And getting back to the question. That's hard. I would assume them having a detector or something,
Oh, yeah, and we do. We have them.
right? But they should have.
I agree. I agree.
Isn't that something?
You're talking a solid waste. Oh, yeah, I apologize, yeah,
But it's barred in and one,
no,
even check. Well, and again, it applies to your, the refuge, you know, where they throw the stuff. Cause that stuff could be, it can be contained and then when it hits the cement or something, it breaks it.
and that's why I'm, there's even cement and stuff, see, we don't accept cement. That's another thing we can enforce. Oh, yeah.
Yes, planners or all
Yeah,
this stuff.
so there is a lot of,
It's not an easy, I mean, I appreciate what you're doing in terms of safety. I think that's great. I mean, when we read all that he's presenting.
But,
Otherwise, it's not, we're not paying attention to it because that's right on you.
but like really, in all this honesty, with the question that you have, we can't answer it. There's,
You never know when it's a time to give.
it's not an if, it's when.
Yeah.
Especially with today's society, you know, that's a question. Dave can do everything that he's telling you that he's doing, but to your question, if there's whatever in a while and it hits the ground that's solid waste, it's gonna be,
In airborne and
yes, so, you know, to that question, until something comes out from the state or the equipment is made for that, we're kind of held that's viable, like just the way that the state police was, the people in the ambulance where it's,
you don't anticipate it to be there.
yes.
But the point is that, because there are so many contaminants in the air, they do wear masks. I would suppose that work.
and they do, yeah, they do have, yes, and actually right now what we are doing is, like I said, it's enforcing a lot of what the permit states to the environmental department, right? And part of those is your inspection sheets. So what we've been doing on a daily basis is we're actually doing those inspection reports now. So in the years past, I can't speak on what's taking place because at some point in times they would do it, but then it almost be one of those things where it was done maybe 1 week and that was enough. You know what I mean? And right now, of course, keep in mind the logistics, even with the number of staff, you know, you had everybody kind of spread out. Where you're asking 1 or 2 people to try to mandate and enforce everything that's taking place when they're doing a little bit of everything. So like right now, but what we're able to do is we're referring back to everything that the state environmental permit calls for. And part of that is a review of an inspection sheet to where if you're coming in frequently, you're coming in with the same kind of degree, which is branches, green waste, or regular household trash, well, it's a requirement where they're going to actually do a load inspection. While they're doing that load inspection, they're reviewing everything that's coming in. Of course, they're not opening the bags and weight or anything, but I mean, whatever is visible to them, and they're following that log sheet where one of it is in reference towards keeping us in compliance with, well, what is really about it, where it is coming from, what is it, what's the history of it. And of course, everything that's documented at the end of the day is getting turned into a transfer station, front office, and documented as a binder. But that is something when they do come, keep in mind, the environmental department doesn't call you and say, hey, David, we're going to be there tomorrow.
That's good.
They just show up, you know, so as they're showing up, it's not a matter of that. Well, what have you guys done? What it's a matter of, I need to see this, I need to see that. Where's the documents in reference towards this? Okay, how come you guys want to do this once a week? How come you guys do this once a day? You know, so in reference to that, it makes more sense to make it a daily routine. Just like a standard work order that water and gas does, well, it's a standardization of the transfer station as well too. So instead of me having one report a week, that's not enough. I want to have multiple reports during the day. So those reports add up for the week. Where if I have X amount of customers, well, I only have 5 inspection route sheets. That's not enough. But I had this many customers. Well, what's going on? So in reference to that, and I did get a little bit of that. So it's going to be a ton of people with the binders. We're going to fill up. I don't care if we fill up the binder that quick. I'd rather fill up the binder that quick and get an extra binder. We need to log the binder by month. We'll do that. We need to log the binder by week. We're going to do that. But it helps us in essence to being aware of what's coming in. But more importantly, keeping the customers, the citizens as well, also on their toes. Is they can't just bring in items the way they think they can because it's going to be mandated.
Yeah, and it's
But I hear you, Rudy. and
It affects the health.
I hear you loud and clear, and I agree with you 100%. We could look into other better units, better aspects of our safety at the transfer station. I want that.
And you would,
Yeah.
that's why you chose, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you can even ask Travis, Travis has gone there, Travis has gone there a few times to go visit.
Thank you.
No, like, well, he, I don't know, he's over there and we want to just get it, but you know what, there's been, when we go back into the safety aspects of things, like I said, even going back to the PPE, or even the cones right out at the base, a lot of the cones weren't even being utilized where sometimes somebody gets sent up, we literally got 3 radios where there's that source of communication. There was never that communication before. Before it's almost like, okay, go up to the right. Your operator doesn't know somebody's coming to the right. They're assuming and thinking, well, they might be coming to the left. Somebody's already here at the right. All of a sudden, here comes traffic and they're coming in wherever they want. There's a loader going in. They're pulling into the base literally where the loader is. The guys on the loader can't see. So this is the way the communication with the 2-way radio. Hey, there goes the red truck going up. I know he's going to the left bay. The loader's right where he's coming to the left bay. I'm going to say the right bay. One more importantly, with the boots on the ground, they're barricading the areas with cones, even retractable straps. So we invest into retractable straps to magnet goes to each bay. So when that's in use, if the operator's running, well, safety comes first, right? We retract that where we keep our customers out of there. So now if you go through that retractable bay, well, you're putting yourself in that 100 way. You know what I mean? If you're running over those cones and going through that, well, that's what we're trying to prevent you from doing.
So it all sounds good and everything. All it is Dave has enough guys to guide you to where you need to go. He filled up his department and he's got it. You don't need 2-way radio, they just. But then they go down there, mom.
Oh, we do that. Because people like sometimes the phone, somebody has the value low. Or they're not gonna sometimes hit the phone, the radios are right here. The radio's coming in, 112, 113. Go ahead. Hey, there goes a white truck over there to the left side. Okay, send it through. On the right bay.
And eventually you're gonna have radars.
I mean, I'm proud of the direction we're doing it, the movement we've done over there. It's been pretty significant. And I mean, when you get the positive response, not only from your peers and your staff, but more importantly from your community members, the big pictures showing that at the end of the tunnel. You know, what's actually taking place versus when you're going back years prior, there's so many PSAs in reference to the transfer station being closed or having to shut down because of lack of employees or equipment being down. We've strived ourselves on that the past 2 years.
Let's just put it this way. Every single department that has to deal with utilities, solid waste, gas, water, wastewater, no violations at all. None. Dave don't have none in both his departments. I don't have none in both of my departments. It's kind of weird. I have to call EPA and just ask him how they're doing because that's like the first time in a long time I haven't heard from them.
And Travis said it did best. I mean, there were violations, right? There were violations. There was a lot of them, correct? And I mean, when you're actually coming down and you're getting audited and inspected by 4 individuals, that's pretty intense. When you're down, they're gonna find, they're here to find something.
Or when they're coming down and they're ready to take a department away from you because of that. And you're like doing everything you can to do. Now, we come to a clearing where
Your audits are
Yeah,
ending a day sooner. I mean, that's pretty intense and significant. We're waiting on the letter to come out. On the audit, based on the last audit, when the letter comes out, we'll provide you the letter with committees of the audit. It was huge money for us. That was huge.
that one will be.
When we go to 100.
Maybe the winner will do the thing on the section.
Yeah.
Council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You guys do it by the next meeting. Well, I think what you'll do with it. Maybe I signed, but I know your guys' letters of interest are in.
Reminded.
You have to go put it in. I put it in right away, give it to Cassandra. And then the mayor is the one that makes the recommendation for the council, and it's all based off of your record.
And the meeting will take here. Still,
Well, that'll be something that will have to be a B date in Arnold's. Because now Arnold's, it's gonna be utility slash public work, advisory committee. So it's gonna be a bigger group, so I don't know if we're gonna have it here or have it at. That's still something we don't know.
all right.
Yeah.
That's your house.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and I think that we'll call this meeting adjourned at 2:24 PM.
One little request, when you're interviewing, so that, try to get the city getting them paid.
Yeah.
All right, whatever they interview you or ask you questions.